Thanks for tuning in today because today's topic is a very common scenario. It's inheriting a house with siblings in San Diego. My name is Brian of Trusted House Buyers, and today we will explore what you can do when you inherit a property with your siblings. Do you have siblings? Because if you do, then you know we live in an imperfect world, which means siblings rarely can agree on everything. Tensions may rise even higher with the emotional toll of losing a loved one. Inheriting a home can be a blessing, but when you inherit a property with one or more siblings, it can also cause unwanted stress and emotional turmoil for all parties involved. So unless the will explicitly states otherwise, inheriting a house with siblings means that the ownership of the property is usually distributed evenly and equally among the parties. But siblings do have quite a few options to decide upon when actually confronted with this particular situation. These are going to be options for how the siblings might be able to come to an agreement on what to do with an inherited home in San Diego. The most important thing families can do when transferring or sharing property is really just to be transparent. Otherwise, you run the risk of ruining those relationships, right? So if siblings inherit a property from their parents, for example, there are a handful of options to decide upon that will ensure that each sibling's needs are actually met in the situation. So one option is to share the house with a formal agreement, right? If all siblings inherit the property equally and wanted to keep it, it's important to establish a partnership agreement that establishes some rules, such as how often people will get to use the house, who takes priority, guest privileges, those sort of things. So nothing can cause more stress than assuming you're all on the same page and then to discover you are not when a problem pops up. Another option is to structure a buyout. Again, unless it's otherwise stated, most properties are inherited and divided equally among the parties, right? So there can be a situation where one sibling wants to buy out the other one, and this means they could potentially finance that portion of the home's value. The first order of business is having a fair, independent, third-party home appraisal that will let you know how much the property is worth and how much you would need to buy out your sibling. Once that number is agreed upon, you can pay your sibling for their share or maybe even finance it, and then you get to transfer the deed into your name only. So that's another option. Another idea is to rent it out and split the profits. Siblings may agree that they want to turn the property more into an investment, whereas everyone can really benefit. And that actually sounds like a pretty good plan, right? So you turn it into a rental property that can produce future positive cash flow for you and your siblings. The challenge here might be the management of it. So a property manager is really a great investment in this situation, as it allows all the owners really to take a step back from the day-to-day operations. And that fact in itself could quite possibly create a pretty harmonious environment for you and your siblings. Another option when things get difficult is to use a partition suit to resolve the conflict. If you and your sibling simply cannot come to a resolution, you can involve the courts. Although hopefully this is really, a last resort for you guys. A partition lawsuit asks the judge to order the home's sale in order to terminate the co-ownership. But the legal process, as you may know, is rarely that simple. Typically, the judge will require a mediator to act as an almost referee between the two parties. This also will come at a price. And it's definitely a stressful situation that most families do not really want to be involved in. You may need to hire an accountant to actually divide the proceeds, which of course will limit your profits. So this may seem obvious, but to avoid these extra costs, you want to try and really settle any of these conflicts with your siblings on your own without using these other avenues. One final option is to sell the house and split the profits. If none of the siblings want to hold on to the property, the most simple solution is to sell it and share the proceeds as part of the estate. One route is to interview several real estate agents and deal with the hassles of open houses, ridding the home of any personal items, and conducting repairs and cleaning. If you do choose to sell it, it's important to have the house professionally appraised as well. An alternative, especially if the home needs work, or maybe you're out of town, or you just don't want to deal with it any longer, or don't want to deal with your siblings any longer, is really to reach out to a company like ours. This is a situation really that Trusted House Buyers has seen time and time again, when we can come in and close in a week with no repair work needed or no cleaning, and you get to leave all the unwanted personal belongings behind. Sometimes it's really a welcomed option to get the cash very quickly and move on. Bottom line is this: whatever inheritance situation you find yourselves in, just be informed about each option and find the one that most suits your particular situation. For more information on inherited property with siblings in San Diego, you can always call us at Trusted House Buyers by dialing 619-786-0973. We'd be happy to talk about working with us as an option and how that might benefit your particular situation. So thanks for watching today. We really appreciate it.